What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review, and today we're taking a look at the Earthrise Cliffjumper. And while some people are a little bit upset because he's small and still in the deluxe price point, I don't think it's all that bad. He's got a lot of paint on here, so you don't have very much inconsistency in color. The only one that kind of stands out, and it's only on camera. In person it's not actually visible, but the transparent blue that's painted red looks a little bit different than the plastic that's got a coat of red paint to it. Really nice. The black windshield on the back, maybe that stands out a little given the transparent blue on the front, but overall I think it's real nice. You know, the front grill's got some attention to detail. We got some marker lights getting attention to detail. We've even got, I'm not really sure why, but a silver intake here. On the back where you got your exhaust star, they just silvered that all out. Black bumper. I do wish that they picked out the tail lights in a different color red, but like I feel like at that point it's kind of wishful thinking. Overall, for the small size, I think it's fantastically done, and probably one of my favorite of the Wave 1 Deluxes. So for accessories, you got this here, and it can just peg in like that. This is how they tell you to do it, or maybe it's this way. I just can't really remember which way they wanted those things pegged on. So once you take your gun all the way apart, you can take these and you can put them on either way you want, like this or like this. I like doing them backwards because it feels more like a rear propelling portion to me, but it's just my sensibilities, I suppose. So you slot the tab into the hole in the handle there, and then these pieces here very easily just peg in right to these big slots here in front of the wheels. And now you've got that Cliffjumper surfing mode from that one cartoon, and you can take this last piece here, and it's really not that important for this, but you can open it up and you basically take the two holes here, and they correspond with these tiny little pegs on this side, and then this just kind of pegs in there, which is probably more for storage than anything because it doesn't really seem like it feels like anything. I guess it could be like a rear ski or something, but there you go. And then the cool thing with this weapon is obviously you got two hand cannons. You can take them, you can plug them all together like so, and then you could turn this into his glass gas cannon. First shot on Megatron in the 80s cartoon, complete with the bipod. Like, it's pretty nice. You just got some options, and I do think that that's pretty cool that they threw that in there. And for our trailer test, no problem. So transforming this guy, pretty easy. He unfortunately is a parts former, and you start by pulling the back of the car off. You may not like that you have to pull off the back here. To me, it doesn't really bother me that much. I would prefer it to actually have been on there, but you know, it's not the biggest thing I've ever seen. And it does have a peg here that you'll bring out here. So from here, we're just gonna kind of pull this up, which does free this and free this piece here. So we'll go ahead now and split the legs here. And you can see that this comes up. Whoops, gotta take the wheel down first. Totally forgot. So this will come up like this, and then this piece here rotates around and just kind of position the wheel so that tab goes into part of the wheel to kind of secure the wheel in place. So we'll do that again for the other side. Flip the wheel down, flip this up, and rotate the door closed and into the wheel there. So there we go, we've got that. We'll go ahead and split this open. You can see that's the whole arm assembly. We'll go ahead and undo them. We're gonna open the chest piece here. We'll bring the hood all the way in, revealing Cliffjumper's really nice looking head, and close this. We can then bring the arms up, and you can see they're secure in place, but they're really just kind of clipping around this clear plastic piece. I don't think it's going to be something that like ends up breaking at any point in time, but just something to be aware of. So once we have that, we'll just go ahead and clean up the arms here, and then we fold the waist on down and spin it around, and boom, we've got our Cliffjumper in his robot mode. From here, you can do a number of things. Whoops. Let's get that arm facing the right direction. There we go. From here, you can do a number of things with this. You can peg it on the side like a shield if you want, you know, bring it up. You could even use these back pegs, I believe. Yeah, just like that if you want. If you want to make it look like it's more integral here, you can put it in the back, and total potential to just be every single throttle bot here. But the instructions do show it this way, and then folding in like this, which does extra secure these in place a little bit more. It's not super secure, but it works. So there we go. There's our cliff jumper, and it's pretty cool to see a cliff jumper before we saw a bumblebee. Usually it's bumblebee, and then cliff jumper is kind of just a red afterthought of bumblebee. So it's really nice to see cliff jumper actually get a legitimate, very Porsche-like alt mode, and definitely a cliff jumper. I'll be interested to see when they eventually, because you know they're going to do it, a bumblebee. Giving him his cannon. I'll say the cannon doesn't really work for me in this mode because he doesn't have enough articulation on his arms to really hold it in any, I guess, really meaningful way. I suppose you could kind of cheat it a little, maybe like this. I don't know. I'm not really sure how I feel like the cannon works best for me, just because of this black piece on the back. So let's bring in the hoist here for a size comparison, and that's last week's, and I would say of the deluxes, he's definitely my least favorite. And then the particular Optimus I'm using is the KBB and PP10 to go with it, and that feels great. When I get a Bumblebee that's the same size to go next to it, I think that'll work perfect for what I'm looking for. So let's get our cliff jumper back to his vehicle mode, and let's get out of here. We'll start by putting this away, and make sure you put that peg all the way in. It can be a little tough to get out sometimes, but it has to be all the way in, otherwise you won't transform right. We're gonna go ahead and bring this on back. We'll go ahead and open up, well, we'll go ahead and do the arms here. Bring these around in place. I always kind of forget where they're supposed to finally wind up until we get there. We'll go ahead and open this piece like so, and bring the crotch forward, and now we can kind of start getting everything into position. Oh, no, we can't. Flip that around there, and it's interesting how that assembly works, because it actually is not right at the waist, it's way up in the torso of the bot. So pretty interesting. Anyway, bring that around, and then you can see where you have these tabs here, and it's basically just figuring out where the tabs on the shoulders are to line up, because they should peg in place, and then just make sure you have the fists back to hold the back of the car. So again, we're looking around for finding our little tab here. We know it's going to come into place here. We have to flip this to get the best rotation out of the fist, and that should be in place with a nice little clip. We might as well go ahead and just add the back of the car to the hands right now, because no reason why we shouldn't. So there we go. And we've got that done. We're going to take the doors, open them up, rotate the foot down, rotate the wheel out. From this point, you can peg these together, and then this can all fold up in place, and just kind of massage those pegs into place. And then final thing to really do is just push that hood down, and there we go. Just kind of make sure everything is secure, hands are holding this nice and tight. That's our cliff jumper back in his vehicle mode, and I gotta say, I really enjoy this figure. I definitely think Wheeljack next week is the best of the Wave 1 Deluxes, but this guy's a lot of fun. I really like him, and you know, even at the same price as Hoist, who's much bigger, I think he was worth it. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next time.